following is a presentation of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Down the paint, bounce pass, Robinson dunks it on the right block with the right hand.
Try to break through the pressure to get a shot at the buzzer. They go inside to Smuda. Smuda turns and scores as the horn sounds. Bella Smuda.
Welcome to live coverage of Conference USA Tip-Off 2023 on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. College basketball season is almost here, and the Liberty Flames are set to embark on their first season in CUSA. Coming up on the show, we'll hear from Liberty men's head coach Ritchie McKay and senior forward Kyle Rowe.
Kyle dribbles to the paint. Hook shot over his defender. Good. Kyle Rowe with his powder blue Nikes, high-stepping down the floor.
Also, we'll talk to Lady Flames head coach Carey Green and junior center Bella Smuda. Plus, we'll preview the new look for CUSA in 2023. This show is brought to you in part by Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for more than 100 years. Carter Bank and Trust, member FDIC. The Carl Miller Realty Team, caring, confident, trusted advisors. And by Segra, offering customized business technology solutions. Learn more at segra.com.
Corner to Hess. Hess for three. Boom! Emma Hess, her third three-pointer of this first quarter.
Now, live from the U.S. Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville, Alabama, here's your hosts, Jamie Hall and Nick Pierce.
Hi again, everyone. Welcome in to Huntsville and Conference USA Tip-Off 2023. My name is Nick Pierce. Jamie Hall is alongside, and we've got you here for the next half hour, 40 minutes or so, as we look ahead to the college basketball season. We're about 3 weeks out now from the Flames tipping things off. The Liberty men and the Liberty women's teams will begin their seasons on November the 6th in Lynchburg. As you heard the voice say there just a few moments ago, we will hear from the head coach of the Liberty men's team, Ritchie McKay, coming up here in just a little bit. Also, preseason all-conference forward Kyle Rowe will be joining us, and also we're going to be joined here by the head coach of the Liberty Lady Flames, Carey Green, and we'll be joined by Bella Smuda from the Lady Flames as well. A little bit later on, we're going to hear from CUSA Commissioner Judy MacLeod, and we're going to talk about the new look CUSA as well with television analyst Tim Scarborough. He'll be dropping by a little bit later on. So a jam-packed show here, Jamie. We welcome you in as well, and certainly excited to be here in Huntsville. We got in here yesterday late afternoon and really hit the ground running from that point on, didn't we?
Yeah, it's kind of fun because I've been here once before. I don't remember it. I was, I think, in 7th grade. I barely remember it for Space Camp. So it's a really cool facility. There's rockets in our backdrop, and I think part of the media is going to, like the ESPN Plus stuff later on today, is going to be underneath one of the rockets. So it's a really cool facility that a lot of people probably aren't even aware of that's in Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that about 7th grade. I've been telling this story to folks all weekend, but I was supposed to go on that same trip when I was in 7th. Not your
school.
Class. Yeah, we grew up in different states, but I was supposed to take a trip here to Space Camp, and I wasn't able to go that day for whatever. I can't even remember the reason now. So I'm looking at it like 30 years later, like I finally get to go to Space Camp for CUSA Media Day. So excited to be here and excited to welcome in our first guest here as we talk a little Lady Flames hoops. The head coach, Carey Green, and also Bella Smuda joining us here. Welcome in. How was the stay last night, and how were the events that you were both part of yesterday?
Nick, we're excited to be here, and the hospitality has been nothing but the best. And I had a good night's sleep. I don't know about you, Bella. How about you?
Yeah, I slept pretty great, and we were able to do some Top Golf yesterday. So
I heard about that.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was good to learn how to do it. I'd never done it before.
I was about to ask, are you a good golfer?
I don't know if I
First
could
time
say
you've
that.
ever swung a club?
Not first time I ever swung a club, but first time I've done Top Golf. So
yeah, that's a cool experience. I've done it once or twice, and the conference has done a great job of setting up a lot of different events around here and things for the student athletes and the coaches to be a part of. It's been a lot of fun up to this point. As we look at the season, though, coming up here, Coach, I was looking at some notes last night. This is your 25th year at the helm of this program. Can you believe that?
It's hard to believe because it just seems like that first season with a really good team, and we've continued to have some really blessed teams, and this current team is very excited and very talented.
You've averaged 23 wins a season. You're 20th among Division I active head coaches in winning percentage, .716 percentage. You went 24-9 last year, 16-2 in the A-Sun, but now you're moving into a new league, obviously. Third different time you've done that in your coaching career at Liberty. You've been through the Big South days. You've been through the A-Sun days. Now going to the Conference USA, you've done this a time or two is what I'm getting at. What is the most important thing for a head coach as you're transitioning into a new conference?
Well, I think probably just realizing, hey, you're in transition. We cannot be hung up in the past. We can learn from the past, but even without even moving into another conference, I realize and the players realize this is a different team. And that's where our focus has been, just trying to develop our team. The team unity, I don't think we've ever had a team that the unity is not as high as this group. And the transition, control the things you can't control and just look at our team. And it's exciting. The Conference USA is recognized, I think, across the country as a very progressive and high-level conference. So we're excited to have that type of competition and opportunity just to shine for God's glory as we get out there and compete.
Bella, you're a redshirt junior now, so fourth year here with the program. Do you feel like a leader on this team now?
Yeah, I feel like it's been cool to just get to know this. We have a young team, so a lot of these girls have never played college basketball, or if they have, it's been like very just limited. So I think it's been good to kind of be able to be a leader just with the girls and some of the younger girls who are just starting to catch on to certain things. But we also have a lot of other great leaders too. Like we have Emma Hesh, Jordan Hodges, Jordan Bailey. Like they're also doing a great job at leading the team. So I think it's good that like specifically us four, because we have been able to play a little bit, are able to just lead the team and lead the younger girls, which has been awesome.
And you're picked second in this conference right away, so the expectations are on you. Bella, how do you as a player handle that, and knowing that more is going to be asked of you this year, and a team that lost 3 starters from last year?
Yeah, I think for me, I just kind of like Coach Green was saying, like we want to give God the glory and everything. And I think for us, it's like, yeah, I want to be a leader, but I also just want to be someone who can be there for like these girls because they've never been through it before. But I also like, yeah, I want to be able to step up because I think, like you said, I've been here this is my 4th year now. And I feel ready to like step into that new role and step into that leadership role and just be able to lead the team and help the girls get through it, because it'll be tough at times, but like if we're all together, we'll be able to get through it.
How big was it to be able to play under Maya for the last 4 years? More so just the beating and banging you guys did on each other in practice. Yes. You're probably more competitive in practice than when the game's actually fired up. Mm-hmm. But now to be able to kind of take that knowledge of what she brought to her game into your game.
Yeah. Shout out Maya Berkman, man. Maya, she's also like, not just was she a leader to me on the court, but like we were roommates last year, and we would sit and just talk about basketball for probably way too long. And so I think for her, like she really was just challenging me as a player, but just like also like we just talk about the game. And I think I'm so grateful that I had her for the last 3 years being up on me, because I think it wouldn't have I think I wouldn't be the same player I am today without her, for sure.
How excited are you about going to some new cities? Yeah. It's like a whole new world now, except for Jacksonville State. Yeah. But every place else is going to be, and there's also going to be some really tough games even before you get into Conference USA.
Yeah, I'm excited to travel, and like I haven't really been out west like that. So like New Mexico State, like I haven't even been out there. So I think it'll be cool to just see some new places, but also just playing, like you were saying, we have some tough competition, in the non-conference, but I'm really excited to play them and just challenge ourselves and get some W's.
Yeah, and you talk about that non-conference schedule. It's loaded. I mean, Coach, you're facing 13 teams that won 20 or more games last year, 8 teams that were in the NCAA tournament, and then even in your own conference, you've got Middle Tennessee that's been to the postseason in some form or fashion now 19 consecutive years. 2 out of the last 3 years they've been in the NCAA tournament. Have you fired your scheduling guy yet? Or
That's me. Okay.
I know.
I love my job. I'm not going to fire that guy.
No, but seriously though,
No.
it's a big time challenge. I mean, how do you prepare your team for this?
Well, I think we just stay with the fundamentals. I mean, just reflecting back to some of your previous questions to Bella. Bella was challenged and intimidated and beat up by Maya for 2 years. Last year, she came into her own. There were some very fierce battles in practice. She came into her identity and challenged Maya, and Maya was seasoned, but Bella could have been a starter, and now she's prepared for that. She's just at this point in time is going to grow into that role. She's prepared for that. Back to your question about the non-conference, it sort of grew on us. Opportunities. One tournament that we're playing with Gonzaga, who was a very good team. When you look back, they beat Tennessee, they beat Louisville last year, and have a very strong team coming back. After that, we play Louisville and then Alabama. That tournament, it transitioned on us a little bit, but we ended up in the toughest bracket, and I had no control over that. But we want to be warriors. We want to be progressing and not having a short-term vision, just seeing the tree or not seeing the forest in front of us and growing throughout the whole season, because Conference USA is going to have its own unique challenges on the road, the travel, and outstanding programs. Historic Louisiana Tech and Western Kentucky and Middle Tennessee is historically really top 20 or NCAA tournament teams, and even national champions. So then we had this need for one more game, and Tennessee calls. We talked to them, and they were so kind to us, meaning the Power Fives, they want to give you game guarantees coming in, and a game guarantee is somewhat saying we're going to guarantee you you're going to lose, and we're going to have our officials, and if you can beat us. But they respected us and said, hey, we'd like to do a home and home. And it's difficult to find programs that would do that and show you the respect. And it'll be the first time we've probably had a national champion from the women's perspective of basketball at Liberty.
Paul Carmody's nodding yes, so I'm going to agree with you.
There's no question, yeah. So they respected us, and we look forward to every game. Not overlooking Frostburg, the first game.
Sure.
But the last game of the year, December the 31st, on a Sunday at 2 o'clock, we hope a lot of Flames Nation will be there on New Year's Eve against a recognized, I don't know, Tennessee and UConn is probably as high as you can get, as recognition.
Yeah, and I think we need to really stress that here as we kind of wrap things up here with Coach Green and Bella. Just the significance of that. Jamie Hall and I were talking about this last night. I mean, there was a time where it would have been unfathomable that you would have gotten to Tennessee or someone along those to come to Lynchburg and play at Liberty Arena. That is big-time stuff. And I think folks need to understand that and make their plans, like you're saying, New Year's Eve to be out there at the arena to support this team.
Yeah, and it doesn't end there. We're right now in conversations with Duke for next year, and that would be a home as well. So, the program is at a point to where I think we can compete with these teams. We want to compete with these teams, and these teams, these conferences, these programs respect our program. They are going to be challenges, no doubt, but we're up to those challenges. And as I stated a little earlier, just playing to honor and put a smile on God's face and give him all the glory.
Well, Coach Bella, we certainly appreciate you joining us here for just a few moments, and picked second in the CUSA preseason poll, and certainly a lot of challenges ahead as we just discussed. But appreciate you hopping on here for just a few minutes here on the show.
Yes,
thank you.
All right, when we come back here from Huntsville, Alabama, we're going to switch gears and talk about the Liberty men's basketball team. The head coach, Ritchie McKay, and preseason all-conference forward Kyle Rode will join us after you hear this from Van Wagner.
Fast. This is business today.
Maybe I can
Unpredictable. Always changing. Shifting trends and technologies are pushing aside old rules. The unexpected is the new normal. At Segra, we'll help you navigate a complex future with state-of-the-art voice, internet, and data protection solutions. We know you have dreams, and we see your potential. To learn about Segra's extensive fiber network for your business and our next-generation technologies, visit Segra.com. Proud partner of Liberty University.
Don't miss midweek on the mountain with Liberty Flames football.
Salter weaving his way into the end zone. Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty.
Be at Williams Stadium in Lynchburg for a Conference USA clash when Liberty takes on Middle Tennessee. Tuesday, October 17th at 7 p.m. The first 3,000 fans will get a Rashad Jennings poster as we commemorate our former Flames in the NFL. Liberty versus Middle Tennessee. Tuesday, October 17th at 7 o'clock in Lynchburg. Tickets at lufootball.com.
Flames Nation, this is Liberty men's basketball coach Ritchie McKay. The McKay family are proud Flames Club members and invite you to join in training champions for Christ on and off the court. Whether you're at the game or cheering from home, your support is valuable and directly impacts our student athletes. Membership starts at just $75 and comes with great benefits like access to premium seating, hospitality, and parking privileges. Join today. Visit libertyflamesclub.org.
Turn up the heat. Foster Fuels is a proud partner of Liberty Athletics. Fostering warm moments for 100 years, Foster has been providing exceptional propane and gas services throughout Central Virginia and surrounding areas. From propane to fireplaces and tank installs to tankless water heaters, Foster does it all. Visit fosterfuels.com or download the app to order fuel, pay your bill, and more. Get the customer service you deserve and turn up the heat with Foster Fuels and the Liberty Flames.
Now, back to live coverage of Conference USA Tip-Off 2023 on the Liberty Flame Sports Network from Van Wagner.
And welcome back into Huntsville, Alabama. I'm Nick Pierce alongside Jamie Hall. It's CUSA Tip-Off 2023. Certainly glad you are with us here as we get ready to talk Liberty men's hoops in just a moment. We'll welcome in the head coach, Ritchie McKay, and preseason all-conference forward Kyle Rode as well. Before we do that, though, I want to remind you that season tickets for Liberty men's basketball are actually sold out. But there are single-game tickets still available, libertyflames.com/tickets. And there are still season tickets available for the Liberty Lady Flames as well. And we just talked about that schedule coming up for the ladies and head coach Carey Green. Tennessee coming to town on New Year's Eve. Make sure you get on libertyflames.com/tickets to get yours locked in here today. And with that, Jamie will welcome in the Liberty men's team now, represented here by the head coach Ritchie McKay, also by Kyle Rode as well. And fellas, welcome in. Appreciate you joining us. We were just talking about dinner last night, and I think some folks ventured outside the hotel. Coach, you sounded like you were a little disappointed with some of the dinner selections.
Well, I mean, it kind of came with the territory with some of the travel party. But I know Kyle Rode did not partake in the milkshakes or the burgers. He just wouldn't do that.
Yeah, no,
right?
Never, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
He's too healthy for that.
Now, you introduced me as head coach, but really, Nick, you're sitting next to the head coach. Kyle Rode is one of a kind. And, man, I 30-some-odd games left with him gives me a little bit of angst. This young man's done so much for our program, and just the way he plays, the way he conducts himself. I hope everyone comes out to enjoy his last hurrah with us, because he's really been he's one of those OKGs, our kind of guys that will be remembered in Liberty men's basketball history.
You know, it's funny you talk about Kyle, and I remember when Kyle was a freshman, as you do as well, but we took that trip down to the Bahamas, and he goes off down there. And what was it, MVP or all-tournament team?
Yep. I think so,
tournament MVP, and now we're sitting here just 4 or 5 years later, and it's almost over for you. Can you believe that?
Yeah, it was so funny. I was on the bus yesterday, and I texted Georgie and Mile Baxter-Bell from that freshman year team. I was like, hey, I'm a little less nervous for this scrimmage today than I was when you guys were playing with me. And but no, man, I think just the foundation those guys set. I couldn't have came into a better situation here at Liberty with the leadership and where they left the program. So just trying to be good steward of that and continue that on with the group that we have now. I think we've done an unbelievable job, and we got a great staff and just great people all around to continue to carry on the legacy that those before us have left. So,
you talk about the foundation, and that enables consistency in a program. We just talked to Coach Green and Bella from the Lady Flames. They've had consistency and now you guys have built that as well. Coach, this is your 11th year, 9th consecutive at the helm of the program, and I was crunching the numbers last night. You're 33 wins away from tying Jeff Meyer as the all-time winningest coach in Liberty basketball history. And I know that you'll defer, and there's a lot of great people around you that make that possible as well. But, I mean, when you think about that and what you and your staff and your players have been able to build, I mean, how do you get to this point?
Number one, we stole Coach Green's blueprint. All the banners that hang up in the women's practice gym and in the arena. But I think, again, Nick, our administration has been phenomenal. They've been incredibly supportive of us and our pursuits. And like Kyle mentioned, the guys, I remember the first year back, we played with 8 scholarship guys, and we lost our first 13 Division I games. So if you would have told me we'd be in this position, I would have thought, yeah, maybe not. But those guys really set a tone. They had a commitment to the process. And I know that's coach speak, but Anthony Fields, Ryan Hippler, Ryan Kimwright, those guys were some of the originals. And then Lavelle, Kyle mentioned, Mayo, Georgie, Scotty, Caleb. We just had a host of other guys that really bought into what we were trying to do. And each year we've gone on, we've had, fortunately, better players because of the little bit of success we've had. And honestly, people that were incredible leaders like Kyle and others. So I'm excited about where we are. Obviously, this new league is going to give you a little bit of angst, but we have a group that's really fun to coach, and they're really committed to representing Liberty.
Yeah, and I asked Coach Green the same question. I'll ask it for you as well. When you're changing conferences, you've been through this now a couple of times, with Big South to ASUN and now ASUN to Conference USA. What's number one on your mind as you change into a new conference? What's the most important thing for a head coach?
I just think us continuing to be who we are. I think whenever you mistakenly figure out, okay, we need more athleticism, we need more length, we got to combat this or combat that, I think you get away from the essence and the way you're built. So I think we're just going to stay in our lane, Nick, and see if the way we play, the kind of people we recruit, can't continue to the upward or northern trajectory that we're on.
Kyle, I'll ask you this. As you look at the standings, and Liberty picked first in the preseason standings, along with Middle Tennessee, but Liberty had the 5 first-place votes. Your preseason all-conference, you guys have had expectations on your shoulders pretty much every year, just, if you want to call it victim of your own success or whatever. But how do you guys go about handling that? And more importantly, maybe, how do you help the younger guys, that are coming up handle those expectations?
Yeah, I think in this day and age, you can't help but see it. But at the same time, we got so many guys in the locker room that know it's a preseason award, right? Like, you got to go prove it. You got to go earn it every day. And I feel like we have a team that loves to go earn it in practice and build habits in the weight room and all this and that. So I think we've done an unbelievable job of recognizing that, and at the same time just saying, hey, it's time to earn it. So really grateful for the expectations, but we're just focused on us and continuing to build habits every day, man.
And, guys, I've made it about 5-6 minutes into this, and this is the first time I've mentioned Darius McGee. But gotta address the elephant in the room, or the one that's not in the room, I guess, now. But you talk to folks. I mean, it's not like the cupboard's bare here. But you do lose the all-time, maybe the greatest player in program history, but you got 4 of your top 5 scorers back. As you look at this team this year, what kind of an offensive identity do you foresee this team taking on this year?
Yeah, Nick, I think that's a first using Darius McGee and elephant in the same sentence.
It might be.
I think the way we're built, and I think this team will probably be a much more of a reflection of the Caleb, Scotty, Lavelle, Georgie, Mayo team, that Elijah, Keegan, that kind of spread the scoring around a bit. We had, I want to say, I can't remember exactly, but 4 or 5 of those guys averaging double figures, and 6 of them average between 9 and 13 or 14. I think that's the way this team is built. Don't get me wrong. Kyle Rode or Colin Porter, those guys can go off for 20 any night that they're out there. Caden Matheny is another one. But, again, the way that I think our guys are the best version of themselves is when we're sharing the ball and we're trying to get a great shot. And those are the kind of people that we've had in our program, and certainly this team is a representation of that.
Coach, over the years, growing up, I remember there was always somebody. Usually, it felt like it was always a Duke Blue Devil that seemed like they never graduated. They played for 8 years. Now, you've had 2 guys the last 2 years that the other coaches in the league are saying, is that Darius kid ever going to graduate? Yeah. Now they're saying it about Kyle. It's kind of nice to have the shoe on the other foot.
Yeah, no doubt. The old, what was it, an ESPN commercial, never graduate? I wish he would never graduate. But, again, I think everyone wants to get old in college basketball. When you have older players that have been through it, and we saw it in our scrimmage the other day. Like the older guys, just know what to expect. And but having a leader like Kyle and a complimentary player like Shiloh, I think he was the all glue team. Is that what it was?
Yep.
Like those 2 dudes in our locker room have really created a even more healthy environment. So I love the fact that they decide to stay for their 5th year, but I think it speaks to Liberty and what a phenomenal institution that we get to be a part of, and how well we're supported by our administration and campus community.
You excited about the challenges that Conference USA is going to bring?
Yeah, I'm excited about the season starting. We have a fairly difficult non-conference schedule, not as tough as Coach Green's, but he's a lot better coach than me. But, yeah, I think what we get in Conference USA and the leadership that Judy MacLeod and her staff have, it's just a league that knows what the big time's about, and hopefully will eventually be a league that is a 2-bid candidate for a candidate for an at-large bid. Because I think the teams that are the programs that are in Conference USA have a tradition, and there's some terrific coaches. So hopefully we can all do our part to have a really good non-conference season and see where we land in March.
I want to ask you real quick. You mentioned Caden Matheny. Let's talk about some of the newcomers here, Coach and Kyle. Matheny coming in, Bowling Green transfer, averaged 11 points in 28 games last year. A guy that played 64 games there. So an experienced young man coming in to help out. And then Xander Yates, a 6'7" forward, transferring in from Creighton. And then you've got some freshmen as well. Kyle, actually, I'll kind of start with you. How are the newcomers meshed with some of the OGs like yourself?
Yeah, I think this is honestly probably the most newcomers we've had.
Hang on, Nick said OGs.
You like that?
Nick's kind of going on now.
Got a little street cred here.
I like it. No, but, man, they've just acclimated so well. And our coaches do such a good job of bringing guys in and really carrying on that culture. So anybody that we bring in, we know that they're going to be a part of the family right away. And I feel like those guys have just been a great addition to that. And they're continuing to find their role and build habits and build the trust of coaches and teammates, and they've just done an unbelievable job owning that. So really excited for what their season holds, and just grateful they're Liberty Flames.
And, Coach, I know with the transfer portal, I don't want to say cautious, but you're selective with who you bring in from the outside that's not a freshman that you recruited. You bring in these 2 guys. What made them fits for your program?
Yeah, well, we had a real strong affinity for Caden Matheny out of high school. Mm-hmm. And we had Darius. I had at the time a little bit of an aversion to playing two smaller guards, but then we had Chris Parker and Darius and Colin Porter and Darius. So no more aversion to that. and I think what Caden, he's so tough, and he's such a good teammate. I think he just fits into our fabric really well. He's low ego, no maintenance, from a terrific family. And when he was looking, I think we showed him that, hey, we're built a little differently, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. And Kyle and his teammates did a great job recruiting him. And Xander was a walk-on at Creighton. It wasn't like we were in deep competition with a lot of other people, but his dad had played at Liberty, and boy, there was something about him that when Jeremy Anderson, one of our former Flames, who's now their strength coach, called me, I thought, man, this guy might be a really good fit. And as we got to know him in the process, we're always going to choose character over talent. Not saying that these guys aren't talented, because they're really talented, but they just fit. They're people that are over themselves, and that's rare to find in. Well, it took me a long time personally, but it's rare to find in an 18 to 22-year-old.
Last thought here, Coach. Let's talk about the schedule. You mentioned it. It's a tough schedule for you all. At Charlotte, early tournament in Myrtle Beach. Boca Raton, you're going against FAU, a Final Four team, and then Charleston, who won 31 games last year. It was a tough schedule last year, too, but how does this one compare, and what does this non-conference schedule do for your team?
Yeah, it prepares for Conference USA, and that's always the hope. I think there's 5 NCAA tournament teams on our preseason or non-conference schedule, so from last year. So, I think having the opportunity, especially on the neutral floor, Nick, whenever you get to March, if you're fortunate enough to advance the postseason, you're going to play on a neutral floor. So the more cracks we can give our guys at that, it's something that we want to. But by the same time, or same token, we want to play at home. And it's harder and harder for us to schedule. It's whenever we beat Missouri, what was that, a couple of years ago? We haven't had many suitors return those calls. But I understand that. I do think our schedule's put together well enough to hopefully prepare us for a challenging and difficult and competitive Conference USA season.
And beating Villanova on your home floor last year as well in the NIT.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, and then going to Wisconsin, giving them all they want. I mean, Kyle, you got to be excited for this too. It's nothing new for you, right?
Yeah, just grateful for another opportunity, really, just to compete for Liberty. I think just in my time here, like, you just have an unbelievable appreciation for Flames Nation and how they come to Liberty Arena and how they support us when we're on the road, and like Coach said, at neutral sites. So I think the schedule is super good for us, and we're ready to compete, man.
Guys, appreciate the time. Coach, Kyle, thanks a lot for stopping by. Looking forward to November 6th when you guys launch the rocket on this season.
Boy, Nick, you're throwing them out there today.
I got zingers today, man. I had my coffee. I'm good to go.
I'm happy for you, Jamie. Thanks for all you guys do. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
That's head coach Ritchie McKay and Kyle Rode with us here on our CUSA tip-off coverage here in Huntsville. Stick around. When we come back, we'll welcome in the commissioner of Conference USA. Let's talk about the conference tournament and all things CUSA basketball coming here to Huntsville when we come back here on the Liberty Flame Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Carter Bank & Trust proudly serves our customers and communities with personalized financial solutions, including essential security measures to protect investments. We value financial goals and are privileged to serve our communities throughout Virginia. The Carter Bank & Trust family is ready to provide proven financial support. Carter Bank & Trust can be reached at cbtcares.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, this is Alan York, asking you to join the team as a member of the Flames Club. As a Flames Club member, you can make a difference by directly contributing to the success of Liberty Athletics. The Flames Club's mission is to raise the financial support needed to provide our coaches and student athletes with the resources to compete for championships. Membership levels vary and begin at just $75. Some gifts may even be tax deductible. When you join the Flames Club, you're truly investing in champions and championships. Join today at libertyflamesclub.org.
Curious about the Central Virginia housing market? Carl Miller Realty are your caring, competent, trusted advisors for real estate sales in Central Virginia. With over 100 years of combined experience, they are committed to helping clients make informed housing decisions. For a winning game plan and to discover the value of your home, visit carlmillerrealty.com to make your next move a slam dunk.
Don't miss midweek on the mountain with Liberty Flames football.
Salter weaving his way into the end zone. Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty.
Be at Williams Stadium in Lynchburg for a Conference USA clash when Liberty takes on Middle Tennessee. Tuesday, October 17th at 7 p.m. The first 3,000 fans will get a Rashad Jennings poster as we commemorate our former Flames in the NFL. Liberty versus Middle Tennessee. Tuesday, October 17th at 7 o'clock in Lynchburg. Tickets at lufootball.com.
Live coverage of Conference USA Tip-Off 2023 continues now on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Hi again, welcome back into Huntsville, Alabama, CUSA Tip-Off 2023. I'm Nick Pierce as we talk college basketball here. Appreciate you joining us, and a reminder that your Liberty Flames season tickets are on sale for the Liberty Lady Flames. Liberty men's season tickets already sold out, but you can get those tickets to see the Lady Flames at Liberty Arena for the whole year. Just go to libertyflames.com/tickets. We've already talked about the great home schedule that the Lady Flames have coming up here, including that big matchup with Tennessee on New Year's Eve at Liberty Arena. libertyflames.com/tickets. Also, while the Liberty men's season tickets are sold out, you can still get single game tickets. And again, same place, libertyflames.com/tickets. And certainly excited for the Conference USA schedule coming up here. And for more on CUSA hoops and all things Conference USA, we welcome in the Commissioner of the league, Judy MacLeod, joining us here on the show this week. And Judy, I got to pay somebody to be an engineer here. I'm trying to figure out which headset you're on, but we got you now. Judy, thanks for joining us. Welcome in.
Absolutely. Glad you guys are here.
Yeah, we're glad to be here and glad to be in Huntsville. What a place. Tell me about the concept. First of all, obviously, you got the tournament here, but then to have this at this facility, the U.S. Space and Rocket Center, just another cool experience for student athletes, is it not?
We really are. It's a unique spot, and yesterday walking through the Space Center, I was blown away, to be honest with you. I kept asking people, did you want to go to space camp as a kid? But I think the student athletes really enjoyed their experience, and something that they wouldn't probably have ever done unless they were here. So
yeah, so often these things are held at hotels and convention centers, and don't get me wrong, I've been to some nice ones, but I like the innovation from CUSA with the football media day at the ballpark, something different. Something different. Is that really a staple of CUSA, just trying to be innovative?
Yeah, we're trying to find unique experiences. I mean, as you said, we've all been to hotels. We've all done those, and some of those are done very well. But if there's something that we can offer, something different, something for the student athletes to experience, that's what we'd like to do.
Well, let's talk about the conference tournaments being here in Huntsville coming up in March. Brand new arena, Propst Arena, big-time seating, big-time concession. I mean, everything's brand new. Tell me about the decision to move the conference tournament to Huntsville this year and why it was a good fit.
Yeah, we've been looking for a spot that's a little more central to our footprint, and we had worked with the people from Knight Eady who have worked with the Huntsville organization before on maybe doing some other events, so we had some familiarity there. And then when we came here, I'm going to tell you what, this city, from the mayor on down, everyone was involved. And amazing how from the mayor to the sports commission, to the hotels, everybody was on the same page and working together. And they've done so many events in this city. They do it very well, and so it just became a really nice option for us, and we're excited.
Yeah, we were at one of the events last night, Jamie. We met one of the members of City Council that was there, and you could just tell everyone here was so excited with the civic pride in the area and just a chance to promote their town and then in exchange give Conference USA a good experience as well.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things for our fans to do here. There's great golf here. Obviously, there's going to be tremendous basketball here. Mm-hmm. But it's a good location, and we're looking forward to just building on this and making this a great spot for us.
I would imagine some challenges along the way as well, though, when you're hosting two tournaments simultaneously, same days. You got the women's tournament and the men's tournament going on. Take me through kind of the behind the scenes, if you will, and the structuring of the formats, and then getting the televisions happy. You got ESPN Plus early in the week, then CBS Sports comes in later in the week. What were some of the challenges that you and your staff were able to work through there?
Yeah, we've done this a lot. So we've been in Frisco the past, I think, 6 years in the Cowboys practice facility, and have actually built 2 basketball courts with a sound curtain in between, and played games at the same time. So our staff, nothing new here. We're actually in an arena that's built for basketball, and so it's kind of exciting.
Easier.
Yeah, we're like, what do we got to do now? But all of our television partners have worked well together, and so that hasn't been really a challenge for us at all.
I gotta ask, as far as the landscape of college athletics, it is ever evolving, and I know there was a big turnover as far as Conference USA from last year to this year, but is it still an eye to growth as far as the future is concerned?
Yeah, I think what I've appreciated most about our membership is they've been very thoughtful and thorough in the process, and not just rush to find anyone to fill spots. And so our board of directors, our presidents, have done a fabulous job of vetting through. My phone rings quite often, which is encouraging.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, it's a good problem. There are a number of people that would like to join us, but we're going to do it the right way and make sure it's the right fit. And I think because we've done it that way, this group of 9 and soon to be 10 next year have really gelled together rather quickly. And so we want to make sure it's the right fit, but there are some leagues out there that are 16, 18 now. I don't think we're looking at anything like that. But if we can find the right 1 or 2, we probably will move in that direction.
Yeah, so possibly you could see going to 11 or 12. And then, this year with the odd number, I guess you have, the 8-9 game, going back to the tournament, you have an 8-9 game for both sides as almost a play-in, if you will. And then it's 8 versus 1, 7 versus 2, and then the format just plays on from there on. Tell me about, just, again, going back to both of these tournaments going on at the same time at the same place. Why is that the best experience for the conference and the student athletes?
We've seen the teams from the same schools support each other really well. A lot of times during the season they don't get to see each other play, and so that's kind of a neat experience there. But mostly for our fans, they can come to one place, they can see both. Our bands and our spirit squads can come to one place, administrators can come to one place, and really it's a celebration. And it's done, everything's equal. A lot of times you'll see, at the men's tournament we might do something this way, and at the women's tournament a little different. We give all the student athletes the same experience. It's been really positive for us.
Last couple of thoughts here, Judy. I heard Coach McKay a little while ago reference the possibility of getting this to where it's a 2-bid league. And there's certainly precedent for that. I know some of the members that had a lot of success last year are no longer members, but that does a lot for the exposure and for the brand of the league too, doesn't it?
It does. And, going through that experience last year with FAU was really special. And, I had people say, well, they're leaving. Well, they built that team in Conference USA. They played the Conference USA schedule. It was a Conference USA team. And so I think that showed everybody else in the league, we can do that as well. If you look at the facilities and things that they're working with people don't even realize, a lot of ours are in a much better shape. So, I love when I look at Liberty's 2 teams and both coaches have been so successful, number one, but they schedule tough, and that helps us so much. If we can get some of those wins early on, it helps the entire league. And there's no doubt we feel like this can be a 2-bid league.
Well, Judy, we appreciate you stopping by. We're looking forward to the start of the season. It'll be here just in about 3 weeks or so, I guess.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we're already halfway through college football season. I guess I should kind of end on that note. How has the first year of New Look CUSA football gone so far?
Yeah, it's been great, and Liberty's been a huge part of that, obviously. Coach Chadwell and his team doing so well. But our midweek games, we're getting a ton of exposure. People are getting to know us a little better. You get lost on a Saturday when there's a million games to watch. But now, a lot of us get texts on a Tuesday night, like people I never thought would be watching our games. I'm like, all right, let's go. But it's been great. The campuses have embraced it. It's different. I didn't know what to do with myself on a Saturday. I was like, what's going on here? But I think it's been a real positive for us. And we've played very competitive football, so couldn't be more excited about how that's going.
Yeah, I think same can be said for all of us. We're looking forward to another midweek on the mountain coming up here on Tuesday night as Liberty takes on Middle Tennessee. But, Judy, appreciate you stopping by, and, again, enjoy the rest of the experience here in Huntsville.
Appreciate it.
That's
Thanks,
Judy
guys.
MacLeod, the Commissioner of Conference USA, with us here on the CUSA Tip-Off Show from Van Wagner on the Liberty Flame Sports Network. We'll take our final break. When we come back, we'll welcome in ESPN television analyst, and, well, I should just say television analyst. He's been a lot of places, but he's covered Conference USA for a long time. Tim Scarborough is going to drop by to talk about the New Look League, specifically for the men's side of things when we come back.
Turn up the heat. Foster Fuels is a proud partner of Liberty Athletics. Foster has been fostering warm moments for 100 years. Headquartered in Brookneal, Virginia, Foster has been providing exceptional propane and gas services since 1921. Stop by one of our 6 showroom locations across Central Virginia to view our wide range of products. From propane to fireplaces and grills to tank installs and tankless water heaters, Foster has it all. Download our app or visit fosterfuels.com for more info.
Fast. This is business today. Unpredictable. Always changing. Shifting trends and technologies are pushing aside old rules. The unexpected is the new normal. At Segra, we'll help you navigate a complex future with state-of-the-art voice, internet, and data protection solutions. We know you have dreams, and we see your potential. To learn about Segra's extensive fiber network for your business and our next-generation technologies, visit Segra.com. Proud partner of Liberty University.
Carter Bank and Trust is committed to our communities. We're honored to serve as a lifetime financial partner for friends and fans of the Liberty Flames. From personal banking, helping with the purchase of a dream home, to assisting small businesses in their growth, we value helping customers succeed. We're dedicated to building our communities and earning the trust of those we're privileged to serve. Carter Bank and Trust can be reached at cbtcares.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Curious about the Central Virginia housing market? Carl Miller Realty are your caring, competent, trusted advisors for real estate sales in Central Virginia. With over 100 years of combined experience, they are committed to helping clients make informed housing decisions. For a winning game plan and to discover the value of your home, visit carlmillerrealty.com to make your next move a slam dunk.
Now, back to live coverage of Conference USA Tip-Off 2023 on the Liberty Flame Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Welcome back here to Huntsville, Alabama, the U.S. Space and Rocket Center here, side of Conference USA Tip-Off 2023. As we begin to wrap the show up here, I'm Nick Pierce alongside Jamie Hall, talking college hoops and talking about the Liberty Flames here as well. We've already talked about the Liberty men's team, the Lady Flames. Appreciate Judy MacLeod for stopping by here for a few moments. A reminder again, if you've not gotten your tickets yet, season tickets are still available for the Liberty Lady Flames. It's libertyflames.com/tickets. Make sure you go get those. Great schedule loaded up here for the Lady Flames this year. We talked about Tennessee coming to town on New Year's Eve. Just a big-time matchup there for the Lady Flames, and a really challenging schedule this year. So libertyflames.com/tickets for Liberty Lady Flames season tickets. Liberty men's season tickets already sold out for Liberty Arena. There are some single-game tickets available, though. Again, libertyflames.com/tickets. Welcome in Tim Scarborough now, the former Liberty Flame and former Flames coach, now turned television analyst. Tim, appreciate you stopping by, man. How are you?
It's always great to be around my guys from Liberty. Nick, I've known you for a long time. Jamie Hall, we go back about to the Stone Age. So we've had some fun times covering Liberty athletics for sure. But this it's a new day, right? Conference USA. A conference I've been around a lot. I've covered this conference the last 10 years. So I'm excited about the future of this conference and excited to have Liberty join the conference.
We would always sit around and when you were covering the conference and go, man, just privately and be like, that seems like a good fit for Liberty one day, and now that day is here, and the Flames are embarking on a new era, if you will, in CUSA, and, I know that the look of the league has changed a little bit, like we talked about with Judy a little while ago, but there are still some of the same teams here, the Western Kentuckys and the Middle Tennessees of the world, that have helped make this a good league for so long. And then you add some new blood as well, a Sam Houston that had a 26-win season a year ago in the WAC, and Liberty certainly with its own success. It's an interesting makeup, is it not?
It really is. And when you think about They have enough that stayed. Now, they lost a ton, let's be honest. UAB was really good. FAU was in the Final Four. Even Charlotte, a middle-tier team, won the CIT last year. Mm-hmm. So that league, the NIT championship, was 2 Conference USA teams. It was North Texas and UAB. So, and, of course, we know FAU went to the Final Four. That was a banner year. But, I was talking to Jeremy Ballard, the head coach at FIU, who used to be at VCU. We've been friends a long time, both lived in Richmond. And he was saying it was really the last 2 years Conference USA was good. But because the league wasn't perceived that way, they didn't get the postseason acknowledgement that they did last year on the national scale. But he talked about that North Texas team. I was like, man, yeah, they were really good. Louisiana Tech, yeah, wow, they were really good too 2 years ago. So it wasn't just – the top-tier teams. But you look at what has come in. Liberty's bringing a lot. I mean, a lot. We know. You guys cover it. Liberty plays on a national scale for the last 6-7 years with Ritchie McKay. New Mexico State had some issues. They're rebuilding. But prior, when they brought in New Mexico State, I was thinking, man, New Mexico State might be the best team in Conference USA in 2 years. Now, they're not going to be that this year because they have 15 new players. So –
incredible.
But they brought in some really good guys. The former coach at Sam Houston State is now the coach at New Mexico State, Jason Hooten, talking to him, and he was able to bring in some players. He told me, he said, Scar, I think we're going to surprise some people this year. So, this is the time to be enthusiastic, As Atlanta Braves fans, when it's time to be enthusiastic and when it's not, right? He's
got to throw that dagger in there today, doesn't he?
You look at it with my Phillies hat here.
I thought that was in your contract with us, that could not be mentioned whenever you came on today.
Listen, I can't help but take jabs at my boys. You guys are my boys.
Can we throw that preseason graphic up, Jamie? Do you have that? The preseason
We'll start with the men.
Yeah, so let's look here. Liberty picked to win the conference, 5 first-place votes out of 9. It's interesting, though, they got just as many votes as Middle Tennessee, so technically, overall votes. So technically, Liberty and Middle Tennessee tied for first in the preseason standings, even though Liberty got 5 first-place votes, Middle got 1.
Right.
And then you look at Western Kentucky, actually got 2 first-place votes. They were picked 3rd in the league. And then Louisiana Tech got a first-place vote at 4th. What does that tell you when you're looking at this? We talk about the parity here. You got 4 teams. The top 4 all got first-place votes. Liberty and Middle Tennessee got the same amount of overall votes.
Yeah, some of that is the unknown, though, right? Because we kind of know what teams were, but we don't know what they will be. Western Kentucky has been a really good Conference USA team since they've been in the league. They haven't won the championship. This is the longest drought in that rich historical history of that university that they haven't been in the NCAA tournament. But they've been awfully close. They've been in 3 championship games. They just couldn't get over the hump. New coach coming in. They've lost some good players. Jamarion Sharp was a 7'7" center that was as athletic as any 6'9" center you'll ever see. And, losing him was big. But Dante Allen is coming back, a Kentucky transfer that was injured in the early part of the year, came on strong late. I expect Ditto Arena to be alive. It's one of the best mid-major arenas in the country. It just is. And their fan base is ready for that team to kind of get over the hump. And now they think with some of those big boys leaving, they can do it. But you got some big boys coming in. I mean, as you mentioned, Liberty's going to be good. Middle's going to be good. Nick McDevitt, former UNC Asheville head coach.
Flames fans remember him.
Flames remember him, yeah. I mean, I go back with Nick when he was playing, and Jamie was probably in school, and I was coaching at Liberty, and Nick was playing. So, I mean, it's a long history way back to the old Big South days. But Nick McDevitt's done a really, really good job. He's brought in some really good players. Talking to some of these coaches about the transfer portal, the interesting dynamic there is retention is almost as important as going out and plucking people. Jeremy Ballard told me he was able to retain every single freshman. Now he lost Denver Jones, who's one of the top scorers in the nation last year. But
transferred to Auburn,
Transferred to Auburn, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen. But, Conference USA is getting the reputation, and now hope with these new schools coming in to continue to be a reputation for a good place to land and play for even some of the Power 5 kids.
Oh, and then go back to Western Kentucky. They lost Davian McKnight. He transferred to Xavier as well.
Yep.
You talk about the unknowns in this league. You look at the top 10 scorers from this conference a year ago. Only one is back in this. That's Isaiah Crawford. The forward from Louisiana Tech.
Yeah.
So you really don't know. I mean, you can kind of prognosticate. All right, Liberty's got these guys that 4 of their top 5 back, but just in this setting, in this league, you really don't know who's going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be a filling out process too, right? Because a lot of these teams haven't really played. Like I've been over the years fantasizing about Liberty going into Ditto Arena, Western Kentucky. Like, could they go there? And I always try to project: could Ritchie McKay bring his team in here and win? And I didn't know if the answer was yes all the time. That's a really tough place to play, and it's going to be this year. Louisiana Tech is a really hard place to play. They've had a lot of good success. Carl Malone court. That Talvin Hester, one of the better mid-major coaches in the country. I mean, that guy can coach, and he's well respected around the coaching community. I expect that team is going to be really good. But we mentioned Middle, Western, but some of the teams that people haven't mentioned. Sam Houston State is a really good team.
26 wins last year.
They're going to be tough to beat. Now, they lost their coach to New Mexico State, like we said, but they're going to rebuild and retool, and they're going to be competitive. And I'm excited to see Kennesaw come back in. Remember the day in March that broke all of our hearts. Yeah, next year they'll be here. So, and living in Atlanta, it'd be nice to have that team come through. But
it's a great fit too.
I agree.
A rivalry. I mean, it's a natural rivalry.
Become one.
Yeah.
Yeah, really quickly too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even when you do baseball games, I go up and watch, and it's kind of intense, even for baseball.
Can be, yeah,
but,
for sure.
But yeah, I mean, with them coming in, balancing out the league, having 10 teams, but I'm excited about this season though. And you can throw that preseason poll out the window though. That is not going to play out the way. And I'm hoping.
I'm looking at last year's preseason poll, right? So you've got Western Kentucky. They were picked second in the league last year. They finished tied for 6th.
Yeah, they struggled.
Yeah, and then Louisiana Tech tied for 9th after being picked 6th.
Yep.
So it's
they had injuries. Yep.
True.
So it happens. I think UTEP is going to be a program that's going to be tough to deal with. But it's nice geographically because, again, covering Conference USA the last 10 years, it went from El Paso, Texas to Old Dominion and Norfolk, Virginia, and all parts in between. So I was all over the place. Now when you go out to Las Cruces, you can also go to El Paso. So now UTEP has a travel partner with New Mexico State. So that helps balance things out a little bit there. But, again, they've lost a lot, but, man, I'm really excited about the teams that are coming into Conference USA.
So let's talk about this conference tournament here in Huntsville. Probst Arena, brand new arena, going to be a phenomenal setting for these teams. Both the men's and the women's tournaments will be going on simultaneously. How do you feel about the setup there? I mean, you've seen it done a lot of different ways, but having it all at one site.
I like it all at one site. The past several years, as Judy MacLeod mentioned, it's been in Frisco, Texas. It's been great, other than being an Eagles fan, walking into that Star every week, the Dallas Cowboys practice facility. And when I say there's stars,
he's got an Eagles reference and a Phillies reference. I was just waiting on the Sixers and AI now.
Oh yeah, no, if I do the Sixers, it will be AI and not this current version of the Sixers. But the Star was a great place to play. When we first did it the first year, it was kind of like, what are we doing? We're in a football place. It's a big hangar. And it was hard to get the vision.
Right?
And they put a partition in between it. And then as a broadcaster, as a fan, I'm thinking, man, you'll hear the whistle over there, and it's going to affect this. You're going to be a guy about to shoot, and you hear a whistle, like, oh, and he stops, and it's like, oh, no, that whistle's over there. But once it played out, it was fine. I mean, you couldn't hear anything. That partition actually worked. So once they executed it, they kept bringing it back to Frisco every year, and it was really an exciting atmosphere, particularly when North Texas got good, because they're in Denton, 30 minutes away, and they were bringing a lot of people over. But the best Conference USA tournament for me was when it was in the state of Alabama at UAB. It was there for 2 years. UAB was good. Western Kentucky travels anyway, and their fans came a lot more because it was a little closer to them. Middle was really good. Middle's fans traveled. So we had electricity throughout the building. Now, the arena was a little too big for the venue was a little too big for the event. But other than that, it was a really solid event. So I'm excited about bringing it back, centrally located. And then, Jamie, you mentioned the new arena that it's going to be in. And it's going to be fun. I can't wait.
Well, let's bring it home here and talk about the Flames. You mentioned they're going to be loaded here again this year, even without Darius McGee. We talked to Coach McKay, and it's going to be a little bit more of almost a throwback to that 2019 team that won an NCAA tournament game. The offense is going to have to be a little more balanced, and you might have 4 or 5 guys in double figures as opposed to one guy at 25 points a game. Obviously, we know how far that Liberty team went. I think that the potential is there for them to do something special, maybe along those lines again, with a guy like Kyle Rode coming back in year 5 leading the helm.
That's a lofty goal. I think about, every time I see Coach Green, I just remember 06. And I remember trying to tell everybody in the fan base, don't get used to this. They went to the Sweet 16. That just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen for most Power 5 teams. It's really, really hard to get your program to that level. Liberty won a tournament game that year. It's hard to get to the tournament, let alone win tournament games. So I think it's a lofty goal. I think it's worthy. I think the comparison is there. But, man, that is a high bar to set to try to replicate what they did in 2019. That was a special group. Having said that the veteran leadership that's coming back, I'm really excited about that. Kyle Rode, who you guys had on earlier, that guy's been a leader for 5 years. It's just in him, right? It's innate. People are going to follow Kyle Rode. And, hey, he's a really, really good basketball player, too. And, he's a great passer, rebounder, post defender, can score inside, does everything on the outside.
Shiloh Robinson's
coming back.
Colin Porter grew up before our eyes in the tournament. That shot he made against Kennesaw State.
Big shot, big moment. Yep. So, and that helps you grow. And just being a little older. It really is a difference physically between 19 and 20 years old.
You lose Darius, but you've got 4 of your top 5 scorers. You lose your all-time leading scorer, but when most coaches look at this and say, I got 4 of my top 5 and 5 of my top 7 coming back, you feel pretty good about that.
I'll take it all day. But, Liberty's success over the years has been about the defensive end. Obviously the three-point shot is a big part of Ritchie McKay basketball, Virginia basketball. But that defense is also a huge part. And that pack line defense travels, and having that veteran group, knowing how to go into some of these venues that we talked about that are going to be tough to walk in and take a win and walk out, it's going to be tough. I'm just telling you, the road is going to be tough in Conference USA. It's going to be a little tougher than it was in the A-Sun where you had a couple of laydown games. I'm telling you, even when you go to FIU, who is traditionally picked in the lower tier of this league.
Yeah, picked 7th this year.
It's really hard to win there. I mean, Jerry Ballard's team.
Well, Jacksonville State's picked 9th in the league.
With Ray Harper as the head coach.
Right. You want to walk into that place and try to win a game?
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't want to do it. So, and the road in general is hard in college basketball. But, particularly at this level where even when the teams aren't doing that great necessarily, their fan base still comes out and they make it hard for you to get in there and win. So, one step at a time, winning Conference USA. You guys talked about this with Judy MacLeod. This is still a 1-bid league. Now, I've felt for the last 4 or 5 years it should have been a 2-bid league. I think when Old Dominion went to the NCAA tournament, probably had 2 teams. Middle Tennessee was a top 25 team in 2018 in the country. They lose in the first round down in Frisco, and they don't even make the NCAA tournament. It's a disrespect, a lack of respect for Conference USA, which I hope has went away with what they did last year.
Yeah,
Maybe the nation takes note that, hey, this conference should get 2 bids.
It's a lack of respect, I think, for the non-Power 5s as well.
Sure, it's not
we've talked about this on podcasts and various things we've done before.
Yeah.
I mean, Charleston wins 31 games, and there's talk that if they don't win the CAA, they may not get it. Are you kidding me?
Their whole season comes down to one Saturday? Come on.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Scar, appreciate you dropping by, my man.
Absolutely.
Always great talking hoops with you. Looking forward to this season here coming up for the Flames. And again, it all gets started on November the 6th. The Liberty men and the Liberty Lady Flames will be at home on November the 6th. Ladies play in the afternoon. The men play that evening. Everything will be getting started at Liberty Arena in Lynchburg. So come on out, take in the doubleheader, and cheer on the Flames coming up here this year. Again, tickets at libertyflames.com/tickets. You can get your single game tickets to check out the men for select games, and then the Lady Flames season tickets are still available. And again, big-time schedule coming up for head coach Carey Green and the ladies. Tennessee coming to town on New Year's Eve. That is a huge opportunity for Liberty University women's basketball coming up here later this year. That'll wrap up our coverage here from Huntsville. Jamie Hall alongside. Appreciate you handling the production duties here today and for everything you did to make this possible here.
It's a good time. Let's go play some football tomorrow night.
Well, let's go get some lunch first. How about that?
Yeah.
Priorities.
Nick's got his priorities.
Yeah, exactly. For everyone joining us here today, Coach McKay, Kyle Rode, Coach Green, Bella Smuda, Judy MacLeod, Tim Scarborough to my right. For Jamie Hall, I'm Nick Pierce from Huntsville, Alabama. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. We'll talk to you the next time here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Go Flames. So long, everybody.
You've been listening to live coverage of Conference USA Tip-Off 2023 on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. You can find an archive of this broadcast and shows just like it on the Liberty Flames podcast, presented by Sentry Exteriors. Just search Liberty Flames wherever you get your podcasts, or find us at the all-new libertyflames.com or the Liberty Flames mobile app. This has been an exclusive presentation of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.